Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News and Rumors. I'm your host, Mr. Brandon Hodge. This video right here is brought to you by SeatGeek. So if you guys are looking for tickets for any event in the entire world, doesn't even have to be a wrestling show, need a ticket for a show, use SeatGeek, use code Hodge, save yourselves $20 off your tickets. Now this is for first time orders only, so if you've used SeatGeek before, just make a new account, you can use the code and save yourselves $20 freaking dollars. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to kick off this episode with the first news story of the day. The first news story of the day is about Survivor Series 2022. So Survivor Series is the next very large pay-per-view. I don't know, Clash of the Castle is going to be a very large show, but it's not traditionally one of the big four pay-per-views. But Survivor Series is the last big four pay-per-view of this year, the next upcoming big one of the four, if you will. Basically, about Survivor Series, they have released a brand new logo. It looks like this. It's not that different from anything we've seen in the past. We got the blue and the red for Raw and SmackDown. Doesn't look like NXT might not be part of this show. I don't really know. I hope it's going to be good, because I got to say, honestly, right here, that Survivor Series has been a little lackluster in the past few years. I feel like it's kind of fell off. I feel like it used to be more exciting. Like, just the tag thing doesn't excite me. The champion versus champion thing, possibly, it definitely could be really good depending on who's doing what. But ladies and gentlemen, Survivor Series this year may be a very big deal, considering we have a new guy in charge. We got Triple H in charge. He might be redoing everything, making Survivor Series as action-packed and as fun as possible. So we'll just have to wait and see how Survivor Series comes out. But nonetheless, we know there's a new logo, and it looks like this, but it's not really that different. All right, the next news story is about Clash at the Castle. So Clash at the Castle arguably may be bigger. Well, actually, it will be bigger than Survivor Series, because it's a much larger place. It's in the actual stadium. Like, Survivor Series is one of the big four pay-per-views, if you will, but it's not in a stadium. It's just in a normal size arena here in the United States, with probably, like 15, 20,000 people. The Principality Stadium in the UK is pretty much sold out. That place is giant, so this is a very big deal. Of course, it is a very big deal for the UK, because the UK has not got a pay-per-view since 1992. That would be quite a while ago. But basically, this is a very big deal in the UK. In the UK, they're actually making this very easy to watch. They're actually putting Clash of the Castle on normal cable television, or whatever they call it in the UK. I don't know how it works over there. I know in the United States, it's mostly like cable. But anyway, it's gonna be a basic TV over there. Like, they're just airing it on like BT Sports, I believe what it's called over there. So I guess it's like the version of like Fox Sports over here in the United States. So yeah, it's very interesting to see they're doing that. But they want to make this as accessible to the UK as possible. So casual viewers, people who just watch Raw or SmackDown, don't have like any fancy stuff or don't want to pay money or anything like that, they can just watch it on normal TV. Like, literally, this giant show that's coming up is just going to be on normal TV for everyone in the UK. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next news story of the day will be about Big E. I want to give an update about this guy, because, of course, this guy had a very severe injury. Like, the guy, we all know what happened, okay? We all knew what happened. It was a complete accident. The guy landed on his head. He broke his neck. Big E broke his neck. He had to have neck surgery and everything, and they kind of had to evaluate, and he was in the neck brace for a little while. He's no longer in the neck brace, if you guys do not know that, but basically he has provided himself an update about this. He said it's not really healing ideally in the C1 vertebrae, I guess. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, I don't know how that works, but apparently it's not forming with the bone like correctly or something, and basically the doctors will go ahead and like clear him just to be like a normal dude and just walk around and do normal activities. It doesn't have to have a brace on or anything like that. But they're not clearing him to be back in the ring anytime soon. He said a year after the surgery, they're going to reevaluate and see what's possible for an in-ring return, if it's possible. So he actually broke it this past March. So in March, I guess they'll reevaluate and see what's going on with it and see if it's possible for him to ever wrestle again. Things are promising, but Big E himself said he's okay and he's fine with the possibility of never wrestling again. I guess he has a lot of stuff going on in his life. He has a good escape plan. I know a lot of wrestlers, when they leave the business, they're kind of lost. They don't know what to do. They're just like a shell of what the person they were. They're like, what now? Because they've been in the business for so long. But Big E looks like he has a good plan for an exit thing if he's not able to wrestle anymore. But Big E, I wish him all the best with the recovery. But apparently, like, in March, they're going to reevaluate and see where he's at with the healing thing. But as of right now, it's not bad. but it's not like perfect and where they want him doing like an intense thing like wrestling anytime soon. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so looks like the only confirmed news stories that I talked to you guys about today. So go and get your juice boxes out, get your juice boxes ready, because ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk about some juicy rumors. Alright, the first rumor of the day will be about wrestler freedom. I can call them wrestlers now. We're no longer in the whole WWE superstar thing. We can say wrestler, we can say wrestling weight, we can say wrestling match. We can say all that stuff that we couldn't say before under Vince McMahon, because Vince, for some reason, hated the word wrestling, even though he owns a wrestling company. It's World Wrestling Entertainment, right? But we can't say wrestling. It's a sports entertainment company. It's not a professional wrestling company. So it's weird, but now that Triple H is running a thing, he's switched that around. Now we can say wrestler again, which is great. But basically, we're wrestling. I just want to keep saying that. But basically, they're giving more wrestler freedoms. So they can actually be themselves more in like media, for example, like when they do interviews or they go on like talk shows or stuff. Before they had to just kind of stick to WWE, kind of stay close to their character, maybe a little out of character, but not too much. And they definitely weren't allowed to talk about like training or coming up or like other wrestling companies they worked for before WWE. But now all that's been lifted. You can just be yourself and be relatable. Do whatever you want to do. Just be yourself, make it entertaining or whatever. There's no really rules anymore. The same thing goes for on-screen when like the promos are happening. Like, yeah, they're scripted, but you can kind of make it your own and kind of do your own thing. And some people even be trusted to do completely off-script and just like off-the-cuff promos, which is great and something that always made wrestling really great, because the greatest like wrestling promos and the greatest catchphrases and all this other stuff was not scripted and handed to the wrestler. It was something they came up with themselves because they know the business, they're a wrestler, they love wrestling. They can make things entertaining, they can know what works and what doesn't work, and sometimes the Hollywood writers who have never really seen wrestling or watched wrestling, they don't really know what to do and the wrestlers do. So this is great. I love the freedom that Triple H is giving them. Alright, the next rumor. The next rumor is about Tennille Dashwood, formerly known as Emma. So Emma's contract with Impact Wrestling is up. There's a lot of rumors going around right now. Emma might be returning to the WWE. If you guys were a fan of the channel when Emma was around, like a fan of this YouTube channel, you would know I was always a big fan of Emma. If you asked me who was my favorite women's wrestler at that time, I would have said Emma. Like, Emma is my favorite wrestler, and Emma was like the most improved wrestler. Like, she started like way down here. It's like, what the hell? She's kind of basic, and then it's just, I feel like her wrestling got better. And of course, now that she's been outside the WWE, she's even better than she was when she was in the WWE. But I really thought she had potential back then. I still think she has potential now. I think it's worth bringing her back, seeing what she can bring to the table for the women's division. And I would really like to see Tennille Dashwood just pop up and return inside the WWE. Maybe that's just me, but let me know in the comments. Would you guys like to see Emma come back with like a badass gimmick like she had before, wearing those sunglasses and that cool purple gear and just walking around? It's all about me. And I really dug it. And I hope she can come back and do something cool. I mean, of course, it's going to be a little bit of a different gimmick, I'm sure, but hopefully just as good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the fun news. So this is the final rumor, the final thing I'll be talking about inside this episode of WWE News and Rumors. This is about WWE Going TV14. So if you do not know, WWE on TV is rated PG. The rated PG, that's like kid-friendly or whatever. WWE used to always be TV-14. They used to do risky, edgy stuff on the thing. That's what made them get so much attention, especially in the Attitude Era. It was just like, we have to watch and see what they're going to do next. What line are they going to cross next? It was like a crazy episode of like South Park or something, to be like, how can they do this? How can this be on TV? How are they getting away with this? And that was something that a lot of people just watched at WWE. They didn't even watch it for the wrestling. They just watched it to see what they can get away with next, and what they're going to come up with next, and what they're going to do next. It was just crazy. It was just like unbelievable television. And that is something that obviously does not exist with wrestling anymore. And that's something that I guess Triple H wants to get back. And he wants to go TV-14. And apparently another reason he wants to go TV-14 it's just the crowd alone. Like the crowd sometimes when there's a big moment, the crowd just can't help it and they chant, holy shit! And basically WWE have to edit that out and they kind of get punished if it's a live show and it gets on TV anyway by the network because it's rated PG and they're using the word shit. It's like we have no control of it. It's like our live crowd. It's like we'll control them or something or edit them out or mute them or add fake crowd noises or something like that. So this is something Triple H wants to get rid of. He wants things just to be unfiltered, raw, and the way they actually are. So I really dig what Triple H is doing right now with that and with everything, but TV-14 is something WWE is looking at going to quite soon. Of course, they are going to lose like the PG advertisers and maybe a few fans. The parents don't want them watching TV-14 stuff. But at the same time, that's what professional wrestling has always been, is just kind of that edgy thing. This isn't a kids program. This is like, literally, they're fighting. They're supposed to be fighting. Like, this isn't a PG thing. It shouldn't be anyway. But nonetheless, with a TV-14 rating, I think they'll have a lot more opportunities to do different and more entertaining things and not have to worry so much about appealing to the advertisers and the stockholders and all this other stuff. So there you guys, so that's actually going to do it for this episode of WWE News and Rumors. Let me know what you thought on all these news stories and rumors in the comment section down below. But ladies and gentlemen, I am your king of Vlogstar, Brandon Hatch, and I will see you guys in the next video.